21st century, the only competitive advantage a company has is to get insights from their data faster than their competition can. Everything else is a level playing field, and it's not even a level playing field within a nation state, it's global. The biggest challenge for corporate CEOs to understand today is in the digital ecosystem, it becomes a winner-take-all. There's one Airbnb, there's one eBay auction system, there's one retailer. So if you don't move fast, you'll be displaced. And there's no secondary place. And you're seeing 100-year-old companies go out of business overnight by somebody in their 20s. Companies grew and became successful by having blinders of focusing on their market, their use. And sometimes you have to take those off and say, I have this gold mine of data. What else can I see and do with it? So LinkedIn knew everybody getting jobs and losing jobs and listing jobs. But you know what? That data also showed them which cities' populations would go up, which would go down. What does that do to real estate? Who can you sell that data to? And you see this time and time again that you can take your data and your knowledge and move from an industry that you're in into a completely different, not even adjacent field, and have a head start over the competition and have the brand name to go with it. We are now living in an era of endless innovation, and disruption's happening faster than Darwinian rates. So if you take China, China went from a cash economy, skipped the credit debit card completely, and now this year did $5 trillion in mobile payments. Two companies were 90% of that. Neither of them were financial institutions. When you now talk about Bitcoin and blockchain international, what happens when an Amazon comes out with a currency? What happens when it's no longer a nation state, when you can't find ways to tax and it's porous and stuff moves seamlessly? The change is inevitable. What's not inevitable is how you respond to the change. If you're lucky enough to be appointed as an entrepreneur, that person who's been given the mandate to change a company, you have to go for it. So number one, you gotta go big or go home. Don't be afraid of failing, because even failing, if it blows up, provides knowledge to the organization of what doesn't work and gets them further. Number two, you have to have somebody that's blessing you and covering you from the top, because you will be stepping on toes. You will be cannibalizing an existing revenue stream that we know is going away in a few years, but that executive wants that bonus today. Third, you're not going to do something new with the same people that caused the problem. You're going to take people from divergent fields that have a new way of looking at it and can solve it with new ideas. And lastly, listen to the data. Data doesn't lie, it doesn't have an ego. Try to find as many decisions based on data. If you look for the right questions, even when you find what you're doing isn't working, you will see the needle in the haystack that you would have never found had you not explored. And that's the real fun of being a disruptor.